So that was the CAD. The CAD is there. So what is the CAD? It's computer-aided design. So I showed you that with all the digital revolution. So what about the CAM, which is computer-assisted manufacturing, or for us would be fabrication? What can we do? The first thing we ever did was, I remember that about 10, 15 years ago, we started to print models. It was already a big deal. At the time it was great because you could get an STL of a model. You didn't have to print it, but if you needed it, you could print them. So it was kind of an intermediate step between analog and digital, and it was designed to save storage. But immediately a lot of people looked into this, and the first really cool applications was 3D metal printing, where you didn't have to print a model, no casting, you just printed an appliance, such as an expander or distalizer or whatever you wanted to do. That was a big revolution, and it's getting better and better. The metal printers are less expensive and more reliable because the first one were not really user-friendly, but nowadays metal printing, from what I can see in conferences, is pretty much accepted, and many practitioners now use these services of metal printing. But then the third one, which is one that interests me at the moment the most, is direct printing of polymers. Best example is aligners. Now we can print aligners directly, as you all know. These polymers have unique properties, which I'll discuss another time, which makes them potentially a lot better than the thermoformed aligners. So this is unique and better. So you should be interested in these. Again, it's a 5-year-old technology. It's pretty evident that many more and better things are coming. And then what happens is the 3D printing directly opens immense new possibilities. Remember, we had software, we had the 3D imagery, which is all there, that allows you to create all these digital models. You have software, is now you have a very unique way of printing, either metal, polymers, anything you want. There is a lot of printing possibilities. And then what happens, you're going backwards. Now we need to revisit the software industry so they can now adjust their software to take advantage of the unique property of 3D direct printing. So this is an interesting development. At the moment, we are still in the beginning of this new revolution, I call it, or evolution. But you cannot deny that there are a lot of new possibilities that are opening up. Like in orthodontics, obviously, aligners will get a lot better. You do less attachments. You can vary the thickness of the appliance. You can vary where the forces are applied. Again, the software are not there yet. So we need to work with software company to take advantage of the unique capabilities of 3D printer and 3D printing aligners to take the most or get the most advantage of this new technology. We also have sleep appliances at the moment, like this one. I'm just doing a prototype that has been 3D printed in like less than half an hour. It's not very great yet, just a prototype, but you can see that you can now print 3D appliances very easily. We just did that on the weekend. It needs refinement, obviously. It's not there yet, but it's amazing. And then if you can think of TMG appliances, they are already being produced. A company like Medit is giving you software to do TMG appliances that are fully printable, and they are very good and great. We are going to make them even better because with 3D printed polymers, they have unique advantages for TMG appliances, again, to be discussed another time. And something we could do for our younger patients instead of giving them very bulky, complex, and uncomfortable functional appliances, that we can now 3D print them using latest technologies, specific software that need to be developed. And then we'll have an interesting setup where dental offices, especially the ones who have multiple practices or multiple practitioners, then you're going to be able to fully individualize your treatment approach. But you can also probably offer a I don't know how you would call this, like a 3D printed laboratory attached to your practices. All of a sudden you can really individualize, make the treatment faster, get the patients in and out of the offices much faster, and get better outcomes. So I think this is, again, brand new, but we have to revisit the paradigm of the orthodontic office or even the dental office, where the patient comes in. So there is a patient here. Then he has to get through all the diagnostic records. Then we send to the lab. Whatever we have to do is sent to the lab, or we put braces on. Then he has to wait, or she has to wait. Then we, deliver the appliances and that takes like a long time. And then we monitor. So the patient is coming maybe 25 times to your office for a treatment. The new paradigm is the patient may even send you some information on the net before he or she even shows up. You already understand what the problem is. You have already a rapport with these patients virtually. And then obviously you still need to get the records. But then these records now are used in a different way. You can now print immediately appliances as needed without the patient coming in. You can do a metal printing, you can do aligners, you can do a TMJ, you can do anything. Patient comes obviously to deliver the appliance because it's still an important aspect of what we do. And then you can do monitoring. This is something we can discuss another time. You can monitor the treatment from a distance, and the patient, instead of coming 25 times, will come 10 times or 8 times. I don't know. See what I mean? So all these make a massive difference if the patient you have a printer machine in your vicinity or in your own lab. You can do some printing. You don't have to print everything. You can also use a hybrid approach where you would print some of what you want to do and send the rest to printing labs, obviously, because printing is a time-consuming process, so you may not want to print everything. But having a printer in your office makes a big difference. And then obviously the dental labs will have bigger printers that can handle larger amount of work. So that's my take on the new digital revolution. I think the latest one is from cone beam to intraoral scans to software to now to printing of models, all the way now we are printing, 3D printing direct metal or polymers. I think it's going to change the way we practice in the next 10 years. Thank you.